The city of Toronto recently posted something on Facebook. I know Facebook, an old form of social media, but they recently posted that everyone needs to declare if a property they own is not occupied. So they have a vacant property tax. I mean, it was a recent addition to taxes, and taxes in general sound like a bad thing. Like you have too many taxes, it sounds like the government is coming to get you and take whatever you want. The surprising thing is the comments. So I thought that people were saying, okay, well, too many houses, apartments, condos are being left vacant. And so the vacant property tax is intended to discourage investors from just buying properties and holding on to them because the value is going to skyrocket in a few years and they can just sell it back. That's, I think, the major incentive to buy property in Toronto. Problem is that there's limited inventory and people need places to live. So what happens is the price goes way beyond what it should be. People who don't have can't get anymore. Like it's impossible to buy. So a house in Toronto, these figures can be a little bit off, but in general, from what I've seen, it's like $1 million plus Canadian dollars. It can be 2 million depending if it's a detached house or a townhouse. Condos tend to be a little bit cheaper, but they still aren't cheap. Like you probably won't even get a 1-bedroom for less than $500,000 in Toronto. That's a lot of money. It takes a long time to save that up. And I think most people in Toronto can't afford housing anymore. Like if you can't inherit property or money, then you're probably not going to be able to afford a house. So then you have to rent. If people purchase properties and they just hold on to it and never rent it, it's vacant, nobody's in it, then the cost of, not just the cost of the properties, but the cost of renting goes up. It's just supply and demand. The supply is limited. The demand goes up because we have a lot of immigration in Canada and a lot of people want to live in Toronto. So there's always the demand. The demand is always high. And it causes issues, right? Now, back to the post. The city of Toronto posted that, and doing so, you deprive people who want to live in a home. You know, you're taking the homes from people. And the sad thing is that the investors don't see that they're doing a bad thing. They think they're entitled to be able to own properties and just keep them empty just because they want the value of that property to increase. And the consequence is that some people suffer. They just don't get that housing. It's too expensive. It's impossible. The rent is insanely high. And it's because of greed. Those people are just greedy and they are hoarding the properties. And it's crazy to me that they were defended to the end, that they're doing the right thing. Like, at least rent your property. You don't have to sell it, just rent it. So let's go through some of the comments, right? The argument is that to all the people mad about vacant property tax, how about you stop hoarding the housing that you don't even use? It's empty, right? Okay, I won't quote names, but one person said, what if he bought a home as a gift for his child? Then he's going to have to pay tax on that until he can gift it to his child. Now that I feel is a completely made up scenario that doesn't really exist, because he could transfer it to his child's name and let the child live in it. But no, it's not like that, right? It's investment. They don't want to rent it to some scumbag that doesn't pay rent. Like, the point of renting is to get a person that pays rent. And most people pay their rent. You know, it's whatever. If I bought it and paid for it, I'm going to do what I want with it. Okay? Well, then I guess you can pay the vacant tax. Another one is, how about you stop counting other people's money? So now you're going to say, your argument is that, oh, these people are jealous of what you have, right? Stop coming after me for what I own. Like, you are causing problems to other people. What you're doing hurts other people. And that's why I think it's not okay to just hold on to property. You can invest in something else, but you're investing in property that's very scarce. Someone else said, to all those who just waltz into this country, you get housing before anyone else. So shut it. I think most people who come to the country don't get free housing. It might be asylum seekers get it. That's a discussion on its own. But people don't get free housing here. The immigrants that come here, the demand is high because they need housing. But you hold on to it so they can't get it at a fair price. The ones that are available, they become scarce. Everyone wants to fight for it. And so you have to pay a higher price. Another one. This shouldn't be something any of us have to do. It's our homes bought and paid for. And no government should be able to dictate how we use it. Well, first of all, if you don't live in it, it's probably not a home, right? And second of all, if you live in a civilized country, you have to pay taxes. Government does get a say in what you have to pay. You have to pay property tax. You pay that. So now you have a vacant property tax. You pay that too. I think people in general want to be good. Like normal people want to be good. But everybody seems to have a different idea of what's good. So like they can justify hoarding housing and say that they're entitled to it. And everyone else is jealous and greedy and they want what you have. They make themselves think that they're doing the right thing. And the fact is, in this case, it's not the right thing because people just don't have a place to live because of you. Okay? And it's too expensive. So I don't think in this case the tax is the problem. And the tax only affects people who choose to keep their properties empty. If you're super rich, I don't think that really impacts you so much. You just pay the tax. The city has more funds. That's a problem. That's a separate problem because then you have super rich investors who could buy anything and the tax doesn't really affect them so much. But you shouldn't be making a loss on a property and just sell the houses, sell the condos, rent them out or something so that people can live in them.